Well, welcome everyone. Very excited to see you all here for this amazing call. I'm going to call it an amazing call, even though it hasn't happened yet. I'm very excited about Gayle and what she has to bring our community. Before I turn the call over, I just have a few things to go over. So first, if you haven't met me before, my name is Michelle Yasuda, and I'm the program director for the Big Leap Home online programs. And these programs support individuals, organizations, and communities in generating agency, connection, and creativity on our shared planet. And these calls that you're on, this call that you're on tonight, is part of how we do that. So the Foundation for Conscious Living loves to gather community so that we can learn and grow together. So let's see. If you have questions tonight, we're going to have a little bit of time at the end of the call, but feel free to put them in the chat. If you put 3 question marks before, it's easier for us to find those. And at the end, and yes, so that's all I have to say about questions. And I want to invite you to join our Big Leap Home Network, which is an online gathering space for the Hendricks community. And in this platform, you'll connect with the community, hear about the latest events, and you'll find Hendricks tools and practices that you can use in your daily life. So it's free to join. I'll put it in the chat, the invitation to join. Love to see you there. So let's see. All right. So the last thing I have here is that I'd like to invite you into a commitment. So when you listen to these words, notice how they land in your body. We find that learning works best when we choose to bring curiosity, openness to learning, and appreciation of ourselves and others into the space. So, Gayle, I'm going to turn the call over in a moment. And before I do, it's a tradition in our Big Leap Bridge calls to say an appreciation for our facilitator. So tonight, what I want to appreciate about you is your clarity. I feel when I'm with you, when I'm talking to you, I always know where you are. And I feel an invitation for myself to be present and to be clear in our interactions with each other. So I really appreciate that about you. And I'll go ahead and turn the call over.
Oh, thank you. I love that, and I received your appreciation. That felt really yummy. Let me just introduce myself to those who I don't know. My name is Gayle Colman, and I am a certified financial planner practitioner and an integral wealth coach. And I've been studying and practicing and meditating and training with my body and body intelligence for over 20 years. And I'm going to, excuse me for clearing my throat. I am recovering from my dance on the dance floor with COVID. And I am clearing my throat every now and then. So please forgive me, and I will do my best to minimize it. But these 2 tracks in my life of money and the body have been very deep and powerful. And about 7 years into my work with money, I began to understand the way body intelligence was so important in our human development and our journey. And I began to ask the question, when are we going to bring the intelligence of our body into our money journey? And that was in the early 2000s. And there were no answers. And my colleagues in the financial world did not have any answers. And that was a period of time where we were looking at the psychology of money and behavioral finance, and that was all really well and good. However, I knew there was an imperative, and I never let that nagging question go. And in 2011, the words somatic finance came to being And I began at that point to really deeply explore practices and what I had been learning and coaching and training myself with clients, and writing about the experiences and the practices. And that has now culminated into a book, which is great. And more important, and why I'm here tonight, is to share practices that you get to explore and tap into your innate wisdom. And the essential point from this work is that you have wisdom that no one else can access or support, because it is unique to you. And in the money world, we have gotten stuck in our head, and we rely heavily on our rational brain, and we have disconnected from our body, particularly in this money world. So I'm not going to be lecturing. This will be the bulk of the lecture this evening. And we're going to be exploring 3 of the practices that are in the practice guidebooks that are offered through a companion website with the book. And they are 3 of my favorite practices. It will begin by arriving together, a belly, heart, spine. We will engage a money thing visualization to then take us into our somatic heart practice. And I have a few logistics to go over, and then we'll come together at the end and share what happened. So first, I want to ask you to just have a pen and paper or notebook close by so that you could take some notes after a few of the practices. And also, there's a full moon. I'm sure many of you already know that. I am not an astrologist or an expert. However, I have been feeling the energy of existence right now, and the full moon is a time when you can release some of your energy and karmic imprints and things that are ready to be released. So if after our practice you feel like there's something else that is ready to that has come up, that is ready to be released, I invite you to engage in your own full moon ritual. And it can be as simple as I offer up whatever you've experienced. So I think we have a great bonus tonight. Unbeknownst to me, when many months ago, we scheduled this call. If you'd like to receive a surprise from me, I'd love for you to give me your name and mailing address, and you can put it in the chat. I promise the only thing I'm going to do with your name and address is put it on the front of an envelope. I have a surprise that I'd love to send to those of you who have joined on this live call. And 2 more logistics. Some of us are well practiced in body work and somatic orientations, and some of us may be new to this. And so I want you to be gentle with yourself. If we're going through a practice in the instructions and you're feeling intensity, you can use your own wisdom in guiding and kind of titrating what works for you. So be gentle, and let's release any expectations of something happening. I loved what Michelle said about our commitment to openness and curiosity, and exploration and having fun. So I ascribe to that too, and love that. And that's all I have. Are there any burning questions that anyone has that you can raise your hand? And if not, I'd love to take us into our first practice, arriving together. And you are welcome to stop your video if that's comfortable for you, or you can stay on screen. It's your choice. And we're going to begin by just noticing where you're located. And you can be seated, or if it's more comfortable for you, you can actually lie down on the ground. And we're going to come into our body, feeling where our body touches the floor. So for me, in a seated position, I notice my feet on the floor, and I notice my bottom on the chair. And so just take a couple of breaths. Don't try to change it, just noticing where your body is located. And you can lower your gaze or even shut your eyes. And we're going to begin by bringing attention to our belly center. And you can use your breath to access your belly. And if it's helpful, and I find it helpful, you can place your hands, your left hand on your belly and your right hand on your left hand, to give more attention to your belly. And we're just going to gently breathe into the belly space, expanding that space. Our belly is the center of safety. When we have a strong belly, we feel safe. And so we're becoming familiar with the belly center and feeling the energy and the expansion of the belly. And just notice if it's easy or challenging to feel your belly and feel the expansion. If you're struggling, you can always rock your pelvis forward on your inhalation and rock your pelvis backwards on the exhalation. So I invite you to stay here and in your own way and your own rhythm with 3 generous breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And just notice that in this moment, you're okay. You're right here, present. And I invite you to state out loud or to yourself, I am okay. Source the feeling of safety. And now I invite you to bring your attention from your belly to your heart center. And again, we're going to use our breath to access our heart. So bring your breath into the center of your chest, expanding and releasing. And again, if you want to place your hands on your heart to support this attention, please do so. When we use our hands and we follow our hands, our energy and our attention follows that. So breathing into our heart center, you can imagine a sun at the center of your heart, brightening and expanding with each inhalation, and then brightening with each exhalation. So inhale, you can feel under your hands and in your heart expansion and brightening. And then with each exhale, the light beaming outward. You can feel the warmth and spaciousness, maybe tenderness, and expansion of your heart. Our heart is the seat and space of connection. So I invite you to stay here for 3 generous breaths. Inhaling, feeling your heart brighten. And exhaling, feeling your heart beaming. You can state out loud or to yourself, I am open. Source the feeling of connection. And now, bring your attention to your spine. You might want to feel the openness of your chest and elongate your spine. And you can use your belly and your heart to make that connection. Feel your belly rooted down, and then lift the energy up through your spine from your belly, connecting to your heart. And if it feels comfortable, you might want to move your spine slowly and gently, noticing the movement and the tension and release of tension and the energy flowing up through the back of your spine. Our spine is the center of dignity. It's where we connect our sense of safety and our openness and connection with others, and source our sense of worth. So stay here for 3 generous breaths, lengthening and uplifting and feeling the strength of your spine. State out loud or to yourself, I am worthy. Source the feeling of dignity. Just notice your presence in this moment, your grounded state of awareness, your presence awake and alive. And recognize again, right now you are okay. This is sufficiency. State out loud or to yourself, I am okay. I am sufficient. And as we come back together, I want you to notice how your body feels when you feel present and grounded in your belly, open in your heart, and dignified in your spine. What does the feeling of okayness and sufficiency feel like to you? And if something comes up and you want to jot that down, I invite you to do so. Noticing the difference between when we first arrived and how you feel right now. And again, this isn't about necessarily getting rid of anything or feeling better. This is about noticing for you in this moment how your centers that support your safety and your connection and your dignity feel, and your presence in this moment. Yeah, thank you. And with that, I'd love to move into a visualization where you name your money thing. And this can be any item, any potential or issue, but for the purpose of tonight's somatic heart practice, we're going to identify something that's alive for us. So again, I invite you to close your eyes or lower your gaze and come down into your heart center, releasing the thoughts that might be running through your mind. And just gently ask your heart, what's a money thing I'm ready to explore tonight or today, depending upon where you're located? And allow your heart to offer up an image, a symbol, any kind of object, something that is a reflection of your money thing. And we're just going to take a couple of minutes to be here. Again, giving your attention to your heart center and asking, what's my money thing to explore this evening? And there's no right or wrong way to do this. This is whatever comes up for you. And when you get your image or your object, you can write that image down on your on your notepad. And just trust whatever comes up is the perfect thing for you to explore. So I'm trusting that you all have a money thing and an image, and you can set that aside for the moment, and we will be using it shortly. And now we're going to give attention just to our heart. And we're going to continue to deepen and expand our heart space, opening to our somatic heart practice. So if you want, you can place your hands on your heart again, if that supports your journey. Or if not, you can let them rest by your side, or if you're lying down, you can rest them on your belly. So again, we're going to bring our attention to our heart space. And in the very center of our heart, giving direct attention, noticing the sensations, noticing the pressure, the temperature, the movement, and allowing that to be what it is. Getting curious about our heart space. And noticing if our breath wants to be really, really gentle, like a whisper, or a little bit more focused, like an arrow. So play with how you want to give attention to your heart based upon what feels best for you. So on the inhale, we're giving attention, and it's beaming and brightening. And on the exhale, it's beaming and expanding. And on your own, I invite you to breathe in, right in your heart center, and breathe out. Noticing the pressure and the temperature and the movement of your heart space. In a minute, we're going to expand our heart space in 6 directions, giving us more room and place to play in our somatic heart. So let's begin by moving forward in front of us. So from the front of your heart, I invite you to breathe forward, breathe from the front of your heart, feeling the texture and the sensation of what it's like to expand your heart in front of you. And we'll do this for 3 breaths, reaching forward to our life and our future. And notice how this feels, reaching forward. Is it easy, or is it challenging? And now we're going to move to our back heart. Excuse. And in our back, reaching back, we're moving towards our ancestors who are behind us, cheering us on. So gently bring your breath and breathe toward the back, outward to your ancestors. And notice again if this is easy or if it's challenging. And just continue to breathe in, reaching back, expanding your heart space. And now we're going to move to our left side, expanding toward the feminine side. Again, breathing and reaching toward the left, our feminine energy. Breathing in and expanding to the left. And releasing. And notice again if this direction is easy or challenging. And now let's move to the right, towards the masculine side and the masculine energy. And again, we breathe in and reach toward the right, expanding and releasing. And notice is the masculine side is easy or challenging. And then let's just take a pause and notice the quality of the space before we move to the last two directions, and the quality of your space in your heart and how the space feels to you. Is it shimmering? Is it warm? Is it tight? Is it tender? How would you describe your heart space right now? It might ache. It might feel contracted. Whatever's happening is perfect. And now we're going to move to the bottom of our heart, reaching towards the earth. So breathing from the bottom of our heart, expanding downward. Allow your breath to reach down toward the earth, expanding your heart space, saying hello to the earth. And notice if this is challenging or easy, without any judgment. And now let's give attention to the top of our heart, breathing and expanding toward the sky, the heavens. It might almost feel like you're breathing toward your throat and your clavicles. Notice if it's easy or challenging. Notice the quality of your heart space. Now let's take a moment to breathe and expand our heart in all 6 directions. Breathing in, expanding and brightening, and breathing out and releasing, beaming your beautiful heart energy in all directions. Now, imagine your heart is as big as it can be, as big as you want it to be in this moment, creating a beautiful sacred container. The sphere of your heart is as wide as your body, or maybe even beyond it. Notice the quality of the space. You may be seeing a particular color or texture. Allow everything to arise that's going to support your practice. And now I invite you to bring your money thing, the symbol, the object, bring that, visualizing, bring it into your heart center, into this sacred space that's ready for you, ready for your money thing. And just notice any thoughts you have, any feelings, anything that's arising, and allow it to be okay, because you're safe and connected and dignified. And you're going to ask your heart, giving all of your attention to your heart space, what is it you would like to share with me about my money thing? How can you support me? And keep breathing and sensing your heart, and welcome any kinds of response. There's nothing to do or force, but just simply be here, receiving. And if your mind begins to wander or chatter, or distract you or any way, just simply bring your attention back down into your heart and ask the question again. We're going to be here for a few minutes to allow you to have your own experience of your somatic heart practice. If at any time your heart feels like it's closing in, you can always go back to focusing on the 6 directions, breathing and expanding to give the quality of your space in the heart more attention and brightening. Above all, trust in your experience. And if you have some answers, you can begin to close this heart practice with appreciation, thanking your heart. And you can begin to journal any insights or answers that you received. And if you want to stay in your heart for a little bit longer, you can do that. We'll take a few minutes to capture our insights. So I'll give you about 1 more minute. And as you begin to transition, I want to deeply appreciate you and your courage for practicing and bringing something that's important to you into your heart space, which can be very tender. And some of us may have gotten sad. Some of us may have gotten scared. Some of us may have gotten angry. And some of us may have had wonderful, juicy experiences. What I know to be true is that whatever happened is in service of you, because your body loves you and is only going to give you what is going to serve you and what you need. Money is a heavy charge for most of us. Whether we have a lot or a little, there's going to be something that comes with it. And so when we allow ourselves to explore in the wisdom of our body, we're going to have a different experience than when we try to figure it out, make it right, solve a problem, which is typically where we usually are. So I see a few faces coming to form. Hello, hello. And one of the questions that I'd love to hear from you, or if you have insights, is how did you feel? What did my heart offer me? And what might have happened to my money thing? So take a moment just to, I'm going to post those in in the chat as what did my heart offer me? How do I feel? And what happened to my money thing? And you can continue to journal some answers to these, or you can open up conversation. And it looks like we have a Lisa. Please unmute yourself and
Hi, I'll share what happened for me. It was, I kind of drifted, or I'm glad you brought us back to the meditation. By the way, you have a beautiful voice for listening to hypnotize us in the meditation. It was lovely. Thank you. But when we did the heart expansion thing, I kind of drifted in and out of that, lost a little bit there. The image I got for my money thing was an anchor. I put the anchor in my heart space, it dissolved, and then I just had to laugh. It's like such an obvious image. And then the wisdom I got from it was, well, just decide not to let this be an anchor.
beautiful.
So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Gorgeous. Anyone else? Hey, Nancy. Yeah.
Gayle?
you- Nice.
Yeah, hi.
Hey.
So, my money thing, I got kind of like, the like heat coming off of pavement,
Ooh,
that
yeah.
that energetic, that, and I was getting the words fluidity, mirage, shifting, flickering, dancing, mirage like. And in doing the heart opening, that meditation, I could it felt like I was in, like my heart was my living room,
Mm.
and putting my money thing in that gave it a home.
Ooh.
So the flickering, it's like it just settled. I could feel it settling. It's still, but I shifted. It's like, money is energy in motion, and dancing with it in my heart space, like kind of in my home, in that living room is what I got out of that. It's like, so anyway, very yummy. And thank you.
Yeah. That's very cool. Anyone else? Well, if you have something, raise your hand or and motion to me. I want to let you know that these practices are yours to engage at any time, and you can bring your money thing, which can change, into your heart space or into your belly. And you can see what happens that's different, that your belly tells you your power center, your seat of safety, that's different from your heart, your seat of connection. And belly, heart, spine can be simple, and it is a beautiful centering, grounding practice in the moment. So if any of you are work with clients, coaches, it's an easy practice to do yourself and to engage with your clients. And I encourage you to do so, because it's very powerful. Linda.
Hi, darling. When you do the heart belly spine
Mhm.
or belly heart spine, do you do the yes breath with that?
No, not typically. It's but you certainly could if that's useful to you. Does that answer your question?
Well, I was just curious when you were talking about you couldn't possibly move your spine. And so, it just, maybe it's just over being practiced. That's kind of where I
think
go.
you can move your spine. Did it sound like I said don't possibly move your spine?
No, you said you can possibly move your spine.
Yes.
When you're breathing up. Yeah.
Yeah. My spine naturally moves. So I think I know I said it was naturally moving. So I said that in the moment.
Yeah.
But there are other times, and because I'm doing it right now, other times it's like my spine's not noticeably moving. I'm dignified. I'm here, immobile, taking my seat.
Mm.
So that might be an experience. I think every time is going to be your own experience.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't try to bring in other practices. Because the point of this is really your belly, your heart, your spine. You're getting a direct sense of your own safety, your connection, and your dignity, which are 3 human nutrients we need to thrive.
Yeah.
And at different times in our life, we may or may not have gotten all those nutrients.
Right.
In fact, I think we have a deficit of dignity when it comes to money. So I would love for that to change.
Yeah. My experience with this was just an accelerated sense of presence and like just very much in the moment. Just
beautiful.
Here now and nothing else, just here now. It was so restful and peaceful. And I got images as I was breathing back, as I was breathing to the side, and it kind of made me smile inside, because when I breathed back to ancestors, I could literally see like a block, like almost like a brick, but a block there where my breath was going up to the block and just stopping and doing that. But to the feminine side, it was a lovely whoosh. To the male side, I got the image of a little person pushing it off to the side, like my breath was pushing it that way. Yeah. And then for the top of my head, it was like a beam me up, Scotty kind of a light that went up. The one going down was I got the image of a stake in the ground, like solid in the ground. And when I came to my item, I didn't get anything for the longest time, but then I almost like felt a voice say, "It's not yours." And I thought, I'm not sure what that means yet, but I do trust that it's not yours. And it just, I think what the next thought that came was, I'm not the source. The source is something else.
So
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great fun. Yeah.
I appreciate you bringing your different experiences going in different directions.
Yeah.
That's similar for me and most, and it's just beautiful opportunity to play with all
Yeah.
the directions and just be curious. Like, wow, like the black block, you know, with our ancestors, and that's so cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. This was fun. I like it.
Beautiful. Any more popping questions? Alexandra, did you have your hand go up, or was that
No, I was just like putting reaction after reaction after what Linda said about
oh, thank you.
the
Thank
message
you.
she received, that it's not yours. And I'm playing with that as a new concept as well. And I loved what Nancy said too. Money is energy in motion. We have this idea that it needs to be captured and held onto and invested or put away, and we need a pile of it around us, but actually I think it's more powerful when it's moving. So yeah, I had a different experience than Linda, but I just was excited when I heard her say that, because I was like, yes, I think this is totally the truth. Like, it's not yours, it's not anybody's, it's ours to keep moving, and to expect that it will come, and to trust it will, because it always has and it always will. Yeah.
I love what you're saying that directly relates to embodied sufficiency. Because when we can access that place, as you know, when Linda was talking about, I just was fully here present. In that moment, there's the fear, which typically creates the angst around money, dissipates. There's no space for fear. There's only this embodied sufficiency within, which then allows for our generosity, our creativity, what I call abiding on the virtuous flow. So really, I love what everybody's been sharing, and I really love that you are all describing that place of sufficiency, and it's huge. It really is huge, and I deeply appreciate all of you for engaging tonight, and it's been quite a pleasure. So, Michelle, do we have any questions in the chat, or any comments that you can share?
There was a question, but it was answered about what the nutrients were, all of the nutrients. And I remember seeing something earlier. I'm looking through to see, but I see, Linda, you're complete, probably. Your hand is still up. Yeah, if anybody has a question, go ahead and raise your hand. I thought I saw something go through, but I'm not seeing it now. But lots of addresses that I've collected for you.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, I want to thank you so much for this gorgeous, gorgeous class. And we'll certainly be putting the recording up so that if anyone wants to return to this meditation over and over, you'll be able to do that. So thank you, Gayle. I don't know if you have anything. Oh, I shared your contact information. If anyone wants to get in touch with Gayle, I put that in the chat. It's already lost, so I'll go find it again and post it again.
Well, thank you.
Thank everyone for being here with us.
I have this new link that it's what the Gen X's are doing, which cracks me up because I'm clearly not a Gen X. It's the link tree or whatever. I'm saying it wrong, I think, but you go on it, and then you have all these little links that you can follow. One of which was this class, and so I plan to put the recording on there to make it easy. But but I'd love to end this, if you're willing to start your video with a matching practice, and feel your heart right now and sculpt in front of you how your heart's feeling, as a way of giving gratitude to our heart and to the space we've created together. So I don't know what that will, yeah. Oh, this is sweet. Well, thank you. Mwah. It's been a pleasure to be with you. And I look forward to sending out surprises to those of you who shared your address. And I wish you great joy and exploration as you gather wisdom from your body and do so with your money journey.
Yay. Thank you so much. If you'd like to unmute and say goodbye. So appreciate everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Gayle.
Thanks,
That's
Gayle.
awesome.
Hi, honey.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Gayle.
Thank you.
Love you.
Everyone.